All right, buddy. What's on your mind? What's the problem?
I just felt that there was a lot of cussing in this video.
There was, but I was pissed off and I never said the F word.
I know, good job. I feel the passion, I love seeing the passion, but it'd probably be a good idea. I'd probably need to throw a parental guidance notice at the front of
Great.
this.
No F word, PG-13, let it roll.
Done.
Done. So, we are doing a little change of pace here. There's been a lot of drama on the internet for the last week or so, and I was really pissed off and I wanted to do a rant video. And my good buddy Jake here calmed me down a little bit, pulled out the rocking chairs.
Got him a nice cold dew.
He got a nice cold dooski. So instead we're just going to talk about it. So I want to start off talking about the free stuff thing out of the gate because it drives me batshit crazy. When we started Slikrok, we didn't have any followers and we were nobody in the UTV world. We were just some buddies. And we had an idea in our head and we reached out to a whole bunch of companies and we wanted to do what it is we do. We wanted to do parts review. We wanted to do installation videos. We wanted to do marketing on UTVs. And the reason we started it was because we were spending a whole lot of money that was unnecessary. There was some companies out there that were making inferior parts, blah, blah, blah. A lot of you guys probably know the story. But the fact of the matter is, all the companies that we do business with, when we started out with them, we made a deal with them, and most of them were cool. They gave us dealer cost. They gave us a little break, but we told them, we'll buy all of our parts, and let's see what we can build. We can see what we can do. You don't need to take a gamble on us. If you like it, help us out in the future. And that's basically how it went down for a year.
Yeah.
And we spent a ton of money. And the fact of the matter is, to give credit where it's due, there was a few more of us in the beginning, and those guys helped us out as well. And I'm sad they're not with us anymore. But the burden, the financial burden, was just too strong. And then we had some other guys that were around that just thought we got free parts all the time. They don't hang out with us anymore either, and which sucks. But this is not about free parts or free swag. It's expensive. And we spent a shit ton of money. And over the last few years, we currently have 12 or 14 machines. I don't know how many. They're expensive. And even though we have parts now that are sponsored to us, all those parts come with a responsibility. And we always have deadlines. We have shit that has to be done, videos we have to get out. And on top of that, we spend hours and hours every day online answering a billion questions. There are nights that we sit home, and I personally, and I know you as well, and all of our guys, we have a full admin crew, we'll spend 4 or 5 hours a night answering questions. We get 10,000 questions a month. And we try to help everybody else out there that we can by sharing good information and we never bash on any companies out there. We share our experiences and our knowledge of what we know about UTVs. We build a lot of them. We do a lot of this stuff. And we spent a ton of money the first year and a lot of broken parts. And every time I hear this free parts bullshit online, it just strikes a nerve with me that's unbelievable. We don't get anything for free. We have some sponsors who pay us. We have sponsors who don't. We try to do the right thing 100% of the time, and that has been the platform we laid forward with Slikrok. And the trucks, the trailers, the gas, the condos, the film permits, the freaking equipment, the feeding everybody, all the things that come along with it, the shop, the heat, the tools, even when you get a bunch of parts that are donated to you from your vendors, your responsibility is marketing. Your responsibility is to test stuff. And you would be surprised the amount of parts that we get sent to us that we never talk about because it doesn't hold up. It isn't what they claim it is. And our job is to filter through that. And it pisses a lot of people off. It pisses our sponsors off. They think if they send us something, our responsibility is to increase their sales. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to you guys. We want to let you know what our experiences are with parts, what parts play well together, what works, what doesn't work. And clearly we build some really big, outrageous, stupid cars. And that's the world we come from. And if parts hold up on our cars, on regular cars, we know they're going to hold up as well. So whether you're building portal cars, whether you're building mud cars, dune cars, trail riding cars, whatever that case is, we try to educate ourselves with the parts.
Yes.
And you and I have flown all over this country. We also try to get a really intimate knowledge about the companies that we do business with, what they stand for, what their customer service is like. We try to meet everybody in the company, from the people who answer the phones to the owners of the company. We like to know who we're dealing with out there. Our name and our reputation is all we have. And because of that, and all the time that is spent, all the money that is spent, that's why this stuff irritates me. If there's a whole bunch of vendors we have out there, a lot of sponsors we have, and they all know us pretty damn well. And there's sponsors out there that we have not, in my opinion, and I know in your opinion, we have not fulfilled our obligations with. And some of it's due to bad luck, some of it's due to timing, some of it's due to, we all have full-time jobs. And this guy has got a full-time job. I have other businesses. We have things that we have to attend to every day besides Slikrok. And this is a night thing for us for the most part. You can drive by this shop at any given time at night and the stereo's bumping and we're out here working. We go without sleep. We go without spending time with our wives and with our families. And our whole crew does that. And that determination and devotion takes up a huge amount of time. And when people chime in about how lucky you are to get free stuff, it's really tough for me because I don't view it that way at all. I know you don't view it that way, and I don't think our sponsors view it that way either. I would imagine a bunch of them think they buy us pretty damn cheap. And so over the last few years, we have grown to be the biggest UTV group in the world by a pretty substantial margin. And we got that way not because people give us free parts, but because we're honest. And we do our due diligence, and we try to spread as much information as we can. We didn't get there because we're jackasses trying to get something for free. If you were to add up all the money we've spent on Slikrok and add up the money, the retail money and parts, I promise you it would be a lot cheaper for us just to buy shit and build our own thing.
Yep.
But, financially, we're not doing poorly in our other lives, and so we've been able to handle this financial endeavor down the trail that we've been on, and it isn't always easy. I mean, it's hard.
It is.
And I know that our wives, all of us, our whole crew, our families, we're really thankful for the patience they've given us. And luckily, our wives are all off-road maniacs too. They love Slikrok and what we do. Because if it wasn't for that, none of this would work out. So obviously, a big shout out to those ladies is a big deal for us. But they let us be and do what we do, and we're thankful for that. But please understand that this is a tough business to run. If it was easy, there'd probably be a billion guys doing this all the time. But it has been an absolute financial burden. And when I look back, there isn't a damn thing about it I would change. We've had a learning curve along the way, and it's tough. But in the end, there's these moments. And I know our moments might not always be the same, but I know that we talked to all our guys about this, because none of our admin guys, the people who help us, they all make sacrifices for this as well. They all go without seeing their families, and they take days off of work to do events. They take days off of work when we're going weeks out of town to go riding, to make videos, and to put a beat down on our cars, and to do what we do. And this comes at a price for everybody. And, we were at Rally on the Rocks a month ago, and we were surrounded by thousands and thousands of people. And every time somebody comes up and shakes your hand and says, hey, thanks for what you do. Hey, I bought this because of you. Thanks for answering all my questions. Thanks for helping me build this car. Thanks for your advice on this. Those are those moments. And it gives you goosebumps that people are so freaking cool when you're face to face and when you meet them out in public. Every time we pass a vehicle out there and it's got a Slikrok car on it, every time we're on social media and you see Slikrok back on the car, right. I mean, it just validates all the stuff that we've been through over the years to get to where we are now. And I don't want to get tired of the social media bullshit, because there is 0.1% of what we deal with every day that is just absolutely taxing. 99.9% of the time, everything is just good. I mean, people react really well to the Slikrok platform. We encourage anybody to take advantage of what we know. We don't ask people to buy stuff. We don't ask, we just give information out there. Never once have we been like, "Who, you got to buy this part. This is it."
Right.
We tell you exactly what we think, why we think, how we got to that conclusion, and we do honest reviews on stuff. And the people out there who have taken advantage of that, and they come and show us some love when we're out there, they chime in on the posts. That's why we do this. And then there's the other thing that I tend to forget. And, you know, we spend so much time working on stuff that sometimes I forget I like to ride. And when you get out there and you get your card, especially when you're just in a cool, majestic place and you're out in the woods or out in Moab or somewhere. And I remember I like rock crawling. I like riding.
Yeah, it's fun to get out.
Yeah, and I forget that. And you know, but I just want to bring this to everybody's attention because I know that I can't curb this single-handedly, but for anybody watching this video, it isn't like that. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. We're happy to do it. We're passionate about the off-road industry. We're both off-road enthusiasts. Our whole crew is that way. The Slikrok family is that way. But at the end of the day, we've all made a lot of sacrifices to be here, and this isn't easy, and it's been an expensive road to here. And I'm sure you've noticed through this whole mess, I'm the loudmouth in this group, which is why I usually do all the videos. My friend Jake here is pretty quiet and dormant most of the time unless I rile him up. But this is my brother. Not by blood, but by family and by choice. And me and this guy have been down a lot of roads, and we've endured a lot together to make this happen. And I want to thank all you guys. I know on behalf of the whole Slikrok crew, just thanks for letting us do what we do. And it's been a very fun journey, and we're not done with it by any stretch of the imagination. We're not giving up. But now that we're going down that road, I want to talk about the groups out there. And I know this is a bit of a long video, and I apologize, but it's on my mind, and I want to say it. There's a whole bunch of groups out there that we're a part of from coast to coast, and these groups are really the mechanism that makes Slikrok work, because we can reach such a broader platform with all you guys out there. And there's 5 or 10 really big groups that we're a part of, and we know the admin guys in that. We know the people who run those pages. There's a bunch of smaller groups we're a part of, and I don't care how big you are, how small you are. We appreciate every group out there that lets us get involved in their groups. We try to do as many giveaways as we can. We try to give credit where credit is due. But one thing that really irritates me is people don't understand what it takes to run these groups. So for you guys out there who run these groups, this is probably going to hit a nerve with you guys as well, but it is hard. It's a lot of work. And not only are all these groups coordinating rides, they're coordinating events, they're marketing, they have vendors in them, they're trying to figure out who real vendors are, who fake vendors are, keep people from undercutting. They keep track of all the drama. They have a bunch of admin guys in them who try to keep the bullshit out. They try to keep people from lying. There's just a lot of nonsense that goes on online. And everybody knows that you're a lot more prone to get soldiers when they're sitting behind a keyboard than you are when you're face to face, which is the damnable misery about the internet. And for all these guys out there, I watch people get mad at people that run these groups because they have an opinion on how they should be ran, what they should do. They're concerned or not whether people are giving them free stuff. They're concerned about who they let in, who they let out, who they ban. Nobody gives a shit. At the end of the day, it's just a talking point for people to have something to bitch about. But for the guys who run these groups, and they run groups well, our hats are off to you guys. I know what it takes. Some of our guys are admins in your groups, and it's really a complex organism to successfully run a group. And those guys put in a huge amount of effort, and I don't care who's giving you stuff. I don't care if you figured out a way to make money. I don't care what the situation is. You guys bring a whole bunch of off-road enthusiasts together. And for all you guys out there, and 90% of the groups that we're involved in out there do a really good job of this. There's a few groups we're a part of that every once in a while I see stuff from them, or they try to rope us into stuff and get involved, and it's crazy. I don't even know what the deal is. And but there's a whole bunch of really good groups out there, and there's really good guys that run it. And the intentions of these groups like I said, 99% of these guys are all just stand-up guys. They just try to bring people together. They try to operate a page. They try to coordinate rides. They try to help vendors. They do, fundraisers. They try to, we get a whole bunch of, this is a really touchy situation because we get so much of this, but everywhere in every state, every day, something happens to somebody. Somebody gets hurt. Some kid's got, an illness. Something happens. And if you knew the amount of people who reach out to us every day trying to get GoFundMe accounts going, get Slikrok involved in this, we donate to a lot of stuff, and I'm not saying we don't like doing it, but it's really hard. When you get that many people trying to get you involved, you're always the asshole if you say you can't do it. And if we were to get involved in every one of those things, we would need 50 more freaking guys, and that's all we would do all day long. Yeah. And so for all you guys who are getting involved in all that stuff and you're doing the right thing, excuse me, day in and day out, our hats are off to you. Those groups are hard to run, and there's so many cool guys out there. The off-road community is one big, huge family, and our hope is that we don't have to engage in all that kind of stuff. We're all adults, we're all grown-ups, and taking the high road these days is the most admirable quality I see in anybody out there. It's really easy to be pissed off or go off on a rant, and it amazes me the people who get on our stuff. Every day I will see somebody chime in. They have no clue what they're talking about, but they're pissed off and they have a point to prove.
Right.
And 50 people will jump on them and correct them, and they fight harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They dig in farther.
Yeah. And it's like, my God, it's just tough. And so for all you guys out there who are drama free and want to live that way, our hats are off to you. Thank you, and we love you all.